2-4 Johnson Central at home tonight to take on undefeated Shelby Valley. The Wildcats at 4-0 under the direction of Jim Hicks in his second year. On the other side, Johnson Central under sixth-year head coach Tommy McKenzie. He's guided them to 3 straight 15th region championships, and certainly when Johnson Central gets back and gets a little healthier, the Golden Eagles have championship aspirations again for later this year. And now we turn it over to our public address announcer, Jim, for our starting lineups and pregame festivities from here at Setzer Eagle Fieldhouse.
At forward, number 5, Hunter Swindell. At guard, number 10, Michael Fields. At forward, number 20, Lamont Wright. And at guard, number 34, Dalton Richardson. Head coach for Shelby Valley is Mr. Jim Hicks. And now, for your very own Johnson Central Golden Eagles. At guard, a 6-foot senior, number 1, Dalton Atkins. At guard, a 6-foot sophomore, number 5, Mason Blair. At forward, a 6'4 junior, number 15, Josh Hitchcock. At forward, a 6'1 senior, number 22, Patrick Rice. At center, a 6'5 junior, number 34, Tyler Back. Along with the voice of Mr. Tommy McKenzie.
And there you have it, our starting lineups and our officials tonight. Tim Trent, Larry Maynard, and Derek Wright. Jim, any final thoughts before we tip this one off?
I tell you, Tanner, just an exciting evening here. High school basketball on a Tuesday night, and just thrilled to be here on another Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. And I look for a good one here. Both of these teams not adverse to pushing the tempo up, so I think you'll see some big-time push-ups, and see in the middle, in the center circle there for Shelby Valley, number 5, Hunter Swindell, averaging 23 points a contest. He's got to have a big one tonight here, Tanner, for Shelby Valley to be successful.
And he'll jump it up against Tyler Pack, the 6'5 junior. You may recognize Pack. He's a kicker on the football team, owns a state record. We'll talk about that later. For now, we're underway in basketball as Shelby Valley controls the opening tip. The Wildcats off to a 4-0 start. Wins over South Floyd, Lee County, Jenkins, and then a win over Breathitt County, 88-54 most recently on Saturday, as Dalton Richardson draws first blood with a 3.
Way outside, man-to-man defense by both teams and hustling plays.
He's a 40% shooter from beyond the arc, and it's 3-0 early in favor of the Wildcats.
Certainly Johnson Central missing number 3, Braxton Blair, out with the flu, Tanner, and averaging some 20 points a contest.
Down low, they get it to Pack. Misses in close, gets his own rebound, and has it knocked out of his hands. The Golden Eagles will keep it underneath their own basket. You mentioned Braxton Blair out tonight with the flu, tested positive at 1 o'clock this afternoon, so that was some late breaking news for Coach Tommy McKenzie when he found out that he would be without his senior guard. There's another senior guard, Dalton Adkins, dumping it to Pack, who puts it in.
Beautiful look. Pack had it on that last time, wasn't able to convert it, and they get it back to him, and the big boy puts it home.
Down low, drawing the foul is Corey Hamilton, and he'll have 2 free throws. Hamilton, the senior, the strong drive. He averages 13.5 per game, and they put the foul on Hitchcock for Johnson Central.
Corey that time taking it right to the defense, and I think this one has the potential to be up and down, Tanner. Both of these teams like to run if it's there.
Hamilton, a 77% foul shooter.
Beautiful rotation there. You know, certainly in the Bobby Keith Classic, we saw some fundamental foul shooting that was superb, and looking here at young Corey Hamilton doing the same thing. Hit those foul shots goes a long way to victory, Tanner, in the close games.
And Shelby Valley will press up by 3 here early. Dalton Adkins dribbled it off somebody's foot, but the question was it his own or a Wildcats? And they're going to say that it stays with Johnson Central.
I think that's a pretty good move by Coach Hicks of Shelby Valley. Braxton Blair, primary ball handler for Johnson Central, so you throw some full court pressure.
Shelby Valley in a man-to-man defense to open up here.
Certainly looking, trying to get it down inside.
And a near steal as Michael Fields got a hand on it but couldn't corral it from going out of bounds. It's a very active Shelby Valley team defensively. Jim Hicks loves to see guys get in the passing lane, create deflections that lead to steals. Not all of them lead to steals, as you saw the last one, as a nice drive and finish by Mason Blair.
It's a tough situation there. Shelby Valley doesn't have the big rejector on the inside. If you overplay, sometimes you can get beat to the hoop.
Blair's twin brother, Jarrett, plays on the JV team at Johnson Central, and an offensive foul. Nice job by big Patrick Rice, good football player, and he set up in position there to take the charge.
He certainly did the good job there, although I'm not sure there may be a little bit of acting job by Patrick there. The young man looks like you couldn't knock him down with a baseball bat.
Nice strong move inside, and it rims out, but 2 free throws coming for Dalton Adkins. Dalton, 752 career points entering tonight. He's a senior, so he's got a little work to do if he wants to reach that 1,000-point club. But Jim, a great student, 4.0 grade point average, never made a B his whole life.
Gotta love that, my friend. These kids doing it in the classroom as well as on the court.
They put the last foul on Lamont Wright, his first, and the second on Shelby Valley.
Wonder if Johnson Central hits this. Do they try a little full court pressure?
Down 4 starters, depth a concern, and it doesn't matter anyway as Adkins misses a pair. And that goes out of bounds over to Johnson Central. So not full court defense like you were wondering, but pretty good defense there as they force Wright to turn it over.
Yeah, it looked like Lamont that time got a little bit tangled up. Officials rule inadvertent contact.
Adkins trying to make something happen, and he turns it over, an offensive foul. So each team been whistled for a charge so far.
Yeah, here comes a little zone pressure full court by Johnson Central.
Wright to the basket. Offensive foul.
Oh, I tell you, Pack and Rice back here on the back end able to take some charges, and excellent job forcing some turnovers here early, both of these teams with the full court pressure.
And that is the second foul on Lamont Wright. So Pack and Rice, the 2 big guys for Johnson Central, have each absorbed charges tonight.
Johnson Central a little bigger on that front line.
Something that's tough to teach, too, the art of taking the charge. As Wright a steal here to make up for the offensive foul. He'll take it all the way in and miss the layup. Putback attempt no good, and Johnson Central comes out of there with it. How about big Patrick Rice cleaning the boards there?
He did a good job.
All the way in. Adkins finishes, and Johnson Central has the lead, 6-5, and Jim Hicks wants a 30-second timeout to talk about it.
That time Adkins able to use the big guys, the pick, and just simply was able to get to the hoop for the easy one. Coach Hicks, I believe, talking with his guys perhaps about some help defense. Watch here, he gets the pick right there, and excellent job on the Deskins Motors instant replay there by Dalton Adkins.
Shelby Valley under the direction of Jim Hicks. He's a Harlan County native, cousin of Billy Hicks, now at Scott County, all-time winningest basketball coach in Kentucky high school history.
Tell you what, first basketball game I ever did, Danny Johnson sitting down our way here. Jim was able to, of course, do that with Billy Hicks and Harlan and Wheelwright High School many years ago. Billy Hicks passing along the expertise
and
to Jim.
Coincidentally, Lawrence County, another 15th region team, will play at Scott County later this week.
Billy's got that Eastern Kentucky influence, wants to schedule those teams, give them an opportunity to play against the best.
Steve Silvers comes off the bench and knocks down the J.
Well, I tell you what, that young man comes off the bench and hits the big shot there. That's what Valley needed.
His father, Steve Sr., played at EKU, and the younger Silvers averages 8 per game. Long three, no good by Mason Blair. Maybe not the shot Johnson Central wanted. Swindle. And now the Golden Eagles want to push. No numbers, and Blair will back it up.
Good transition defense.
Corner three, Josh Hitchcock, no. And a nice strong rebound by Dalton Richardson. Boy, all 5 guys really go to the glass well for Shelby Valley.
Seeing some good transition defense. That time they left Hitchcock alone, and you see this man-to-man defense. Remember now, Johnson Central playing short.
Hamilton no good on the three, fields the rebound. Now this is Swindle, in and out. And Johnson Central controlling. This is the big man Tyler Pack in the open floor, and now he'll give it up to a guard. It's Adkins.
Gotta believe Johnson Central, Coach McKenzie wants to work it down low. That's where they've got the advantage.
Pack, no, gets his own miss though, and has it stripped away. It will go out of bounds over to Shelby Valley. Wildcats with a 1-point lead early in this one in our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on this TV and WYMT.com. Well, we mentioned the injury woes for Johnson Central. We'll talk about those in a minute. Here's how Shelby Valley has fared so far this year. The Wildcats 4-0. A win tonight would make them 5-0, give them their best start since the 2009-10 season. We all know what happened that year.
You got it, baby.
Long three. Richardson connects, his second of the game.
That young man can hit it from outside. You know, they haven't really gotten Swindell involved. Thought maybe they might run a play for him, but when Richardson's hitting them like that, no point. Fouling back court here.
They call it on Richardson, his first, team 4th. Johnson Central, a good job of hanging around here despite facing some adversity in the way of 4 starters out. Of course, Truman Salyer out for the year with an ACL.
Just hate to see that.
And we check in with Anthony on the sidelines. Anthony?
And have better ball rotation. And for Coach Hicks, he definitely said that he wants to see them not settle and also do better ball movement and screens. Tanner and Jim?
Okay, thanks, Anthony. 10-6, Shelby Valley with an early 4-point lead in the basketball here. Oh, look at the strong drive. Shot no good by Hamilton. Johnson Central dodging some bullets here early.
Gotta love this defense by Shelby Valley. Heavy
Blair.
overplay.
Blair misses. Rebound Richardson looking to push. 3 out of the corner. Hamilton couldn't get it to go. And then a nice job by Johnson Central's Patrick Rice of throwing it off a Wildcat to help the Golden Eagles take over after that rebound. Jerry McCarty, a junior, number 20, checks in for the first time for the Golden Eagles.
Still this full court pressure here, and it's giving Johnson Central some problems. They've turned it over some 4 times here in this first quarter.
Adkins nearly lost it. Good defense by Richardson, and then they call a timeout. Johnson Central takes a timeout with 2:31 remaining in our opening period. Shelby Valley up 10-6. Jim, it's very evident that Valley, they've got their guys out there. Johnson Central, it's evident, is missing a few guys, but you have to give the Golden Eagles credit for fighting hard like they have so far in this game.
That's what's going on there in that huddle, as you see J.R. Van Hoos assisting Tommy McKenzie. But what happened there, of course, Tommy McKenzie, the old point guard, Dalton Adkins was in some trouble, and nobody was really maneuvering to try to help him out there. You're going to have a little bit better ball movement away from the ball. Better movement, player movement away from the ball in an instance like that.
Get another look at Shelby Valley's results. Wins over South Floyd, Lee County, Jenkins, and Breathitt County. I saw them Friday at Jenkins. Actually fell behind in that game 4-0. Coach Hicks called a timeout, and then his team went on a big run to put that one away. Adkins, awkward shot, rebounded inside by Swindle. 3, Richardson, his 3rd of the game.
From the same spot. I mean, at times Swindell gets Richardson involved. Good back tip.
And a steal by Hamilton. This will be an easy layup, and Shelby Valley all of a sudden stretches its lead out to 9 points. And a timeout for Johnson Central.
They have to go back-to-back timeouts. I talked with Coach McKenzie prior to the game, Tanner, and he thought maybe something like this would occur if Valley got out to the quick lead.
Coach Tommy McKenzie of Johnson Central in his 6th year took over for Mark Starnes in 2008. Tommy's won 63.5% of his games as head coach of Johnson Central, Jim. Second only to Paul Williams, a name you may remember, who coached from back 1969 to 72. He won 71% of his games. So Coach McKenzie has found a lot of success. You know, the 3 straight 16th region championships. 15th region. I keep saying 16th region because we're right next to the 16th. But
that's okay.
15th region champions 3 years in a row, looking to make it 4 once they get these guys healthy.
Well, they've just got a tremendous athletic and academic program here at Johnson Central. You see the young kids there getting involved. I'm going to guess that's young McKenzie there with his dad, then bringing these kids up the right way. Athletics, academics, important to both these schools. And big lead here early for Shelby Valley. I like the way Swindell averaging 23 points a game, Tanner. He's made a couple of steals, a couple of assists, and he's not forcing anything. Pretty tough on the point of this pressure defense.
Johnson Central really depends heavily on its big guys to help beat that press. Rice, one of them, helped him do it there, and then a foul inside.
Certainly, Tanner, when you have guys that haven't played together a lot, chemistry not quite meshing at this moment. But the player movement away from the ball, a little bit heavy-legged for Johnson Central here early.
First foul on Steve Silvers.
See how everybody's trying to beat the pressure one-on-one here instead of with quick ball movement and player movement.
This is Rice. Boy, he moves pretty well for a big guy, doesn't he? Draws the foul. Remember, we saw him a few weeks ago. In fact, it was back on Halloween when Johnson Central played Belfry in our Appalachian Wireless football game of the week. They use him in a lot of trick plays. He gets some handoffs. Very versatile football player, and proving he is proficient on the basketball court as well.
Certainly, and you know, it's always tough for those football guys to get the basketball legs here early in the season, Tanner. Really takes almost to the 1st of January before they get things going.
Three-pointer up for Josh Hitchcock, no good. Rebounded inside by McCarty, and he's able to nearly finish, but it spun out on him.
A crowd.
Fields traveled. Talking about the football teams, though, for both these schools. Yeah. Johnson Central, of course, you know the story, under head coach Jim Matney. Finished the regular season undefeated this year. Shelby Valley ended up winning its region for the first time ever. Fell to Newcath in the state semifinals of Class 2A. Inside runner good for Cole Crace, the sophomore. Averages 2.5 points per game, his first bucket.
You know, Tanner, we talked in the Bobby Keith Classic. You know, schools get things going and it sort of spreads over. Football to basketball to baseball to all the sports. And certainly we always celebrate these kids who do well in the classroom. Really exceptional. Swindell just hasn't gotten a chance to get going. He averages 23 a game.
Fields a contested three, his first bucket.
Another one of those guys with the full beard aspect of, since we saw Farmer and Mills from Clay County, I guess young Fields could play with them.
Johnson Central trying to cut into a 10-point lead. Hitchcock spins out on him, and a foul going against Johnson Central on the rebound. They put it on Tyler Pack.
I believe this would be. Let's take a look here, Tanner, on our Deskins Motors instant replay as Fields hits from way outside.
Fields a senior, 5'10", 180 pounds, wears number 10. It's a good number. I wore that one in high school.
There you go.
It's not necessarily why it's a good number, but
okay.
Just thought I'd make that observation.
Sure. Shelby Valley probably going for the last one, and number 34, Richardson, standing in front of us here. Wonder if he'll get the shot on his right wing.
Closing moments of the first quarter. Valley trying to add to its double-digit lead. This is Silvers. Inside, good look up, no good for Swindle, and our first quarter comes to an end with Shelby Valley leading at Johnson Central by 10 points, 18-8 your score. Johnson Central starts the second quarter with the ball down by 10. Shelby Valley absolutely tore it up shooting in that first half, Jim. 6 of 14, 42.5%. As you see, Silvers with the steal there. 4 of 6 from three-point land. Johnson Central only shot 28.6%.
Forcing the turnovers. Johnson Central turning it over 6 times and 5 times in that first quarter, and then that tough Shelby Valley defense forcing the turnover there.
That's one way to get back into it. Mason Blair now has 5 points. That's his first 3.
Now looks like Johnson Central drop back maybe in a zone here, Tanner. Kind of thought they might try something like this, sort of force Shelby Valley on the outside. Beautiful play.
Little backdoor alley-oop and an easy put-in for Corey Hamilton.
Beautiful pass.
And they call the foul. Hamilton now with 4 points. Foul on Pack. Let's take a look at the injury bug that has really affected Johnson Central, Jim. Several key guys hurt. Take a look there. Truman Salyer, good football player, out for the season. Now Rice is playing tonight.
Yeah.
Kyle Gollett out for a couple weeks, injured his ankle against Jackson County. Blair, a good player, out tonight with the flu.
Just hate to see Austin Davis out for the entire year. And you talked about Rice, he is playing, but he does have a heavy wrap on that right leg, you can see there.
After the missed free throw by Fields, the jumper at the other end by Blair, no good, and a foul on the rebound, and we check in with Anthony. Or we don't. Sorry, we'll try to get to Anthony in just a minute. Corey Hamilton, the foul.
Shelby Valley, a team with not a lot of size like they've had in past years, but tenacious, overplayed defense, forcing some turnovers here early. And
Jerry McCarty at the line for Johnson Central, the 6'4 junior. Getting some extended minutes off the bench for Coach Tommy McKenzie's club in light of all the injuries. Misses the front end of a 1-and-1. 7 fouls on Shelby Valley, just 4 on Johnson Central. Swindle inside.
His first bucket, and just nobody there. A little bit of a problem communicating in the zone that time.
Of course, Shelby Valley trying to snap a 4-game losing streak to Johnson Central. You have to go back to 2009-10 to find the last time, or actually 2011, the last time Shelby Valley beat Johnson Central. It was in the 15th Region Championship game. Since then, 4 straight over Shelby Valley for the Golden Eagles as Rice just roots his way inside for position and draws the foul. Boy, he's a brute down low, isn't he?
He is, and he used that upper body strength to get position and get an opportunity there. But, you know, a lot of times, Tanner, you have one guy with the flu, and you got 4 guys that feel like they're about ready to come down with the flu. I just look at Johnson Central's guys. They look a little tired here, and got to believe the sickness has sort of spread around and been a difficult situation. I love the way Shelby Valley is playing so aggressively on both ends of the court, and they're looking to push this basketball. No wonder they're averaging some 90 points a game.
Rice still scoreless, does have 4 rebounds. Shelby Valley with a chance to add to its 11-point lead here. Jim Hicks made an interesting comment to me when I spoke to him before this game, Jim. He said, finally, I'm able to play how I want to, as the jumper is up, no good that time. He said he has the personnel to really run up and down and play a fast-paced game. As speaking of fast-paced, Mason Blair quickly to the other end for the layup. He now has 7, and Shelby Valley takes a timeout. But, of course, Coach Hicks, he's had several stops, spent some time at Bath County, Owsley County, and Greenup County. Was the head coach at Grant County for 3 years before coming back to his native Eastern Kentucky to take on Shelby Valley, as you get another look at the Mason Blair layup here. But his point being that he feels like he has a very strong contender with his Wildcats this year, as you see him getting on them in the huddle there. He just really wants to push them to be better and really pick up the pace as much as possible.
I think what you're seeing there also is the timeout. His guys didn't hustle back on defense that last time, enabled Mason Blair to take it inline to inline and score the bucket. So I think Coach Hicks there wanted to call timeout with his guys. He's got to have a real intensity with his defensive effort to make up for this lack of size, but you're exactly right. He can push it, he can go, and I think in the middle of this zone, Swindell can hurt him.
Swindell unable to hurt him there as he missed the close jumper.
A lot of one-on-one stuff here for Johnson Central.
Blair beats his man one-on-one and gets the roll. That's the kind of roll you get at home.
Yeah. Young man has caught fire here in this second quarter, and Johnson Central cuts into the lead. Good move.
Inside, banks it home. That's Lamont Wright playing with 2 fouls. The sophomore averages more than 15 points per game.
Young man with a good first step on that drive, Tanner, and that's what we're seeing here. Some guys doing well off the dribble and a good first step.
Shot fake and then deciding to take the three is Cole Crace. The sophomore with 5 big ones in this first half, and Shelby Valley's lead is trimmed to 6.
The zone has kind of slowed Shelby Valley down a little bit, but there's where Valley can hurt them.
Jumper no good for Swindell. Look at the rebound by Wright. Couldn't spin it in.
Oh, man.
If Johnson Central hits a 3 here, it's a 1-possession game, and Rice is a little shaken up in the backcourt as he's slow getting into forecourt. Now Shelby Valley with some numbers. 3 out of the corner. Too strong for Richardson. Dangerous pass there, but it's in the hands of Blair for the Golden Eagles.
Rice is unable here, Tanner, to come into the court, and young man just giving it all we got.
And that'll get us to a break. 24-18, Shelby Valley with a 6-point lead over Johnson Central here in our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Take a look at the replay of that last basket on our Deskins Motors instant replay.
Cole Crace.
That was Mason
that's
Blair
Mason
slashing.
Blair.
Crace had the 3 before it. It was Blair getting the friendly roll there. And we're back to live action. 24-18, Shelby Valley with the lead, but Central with the basketball. 3 out of the corner by Hitchcock. Couldn't get the long one to go, and Shelby Valley clears the boards. Swindell cut off on the baseline. And now a tip and a near steal. Good hustle by Cole Crace.
Oh, man, let's see, Tanner. Is that young man going to be able to pop up? Daggone.
He took a tumble over there.
Phooey.
Seems to be in some pain.
It might have hit his hip. Let's see. We've got the – he's going to knock this one away here, this Cole, and he's going to sprint, and I think lands right on that left hip.
Oh, he hit his back against the side of the bleachers.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You hate that, too, because a player deserves a reward for hustle like that, not to be injured, and certainly Cole Crace.
Man, they just keep falling down for Johnson Central. I believe he's young there. He's going to bounce up, but that was a tough one. And, you know, Tanner, the one thing we've seen in mountain basketball over my 30 years of covering it, defense has gotten so much tougher, the help defense.
It has.
And that's what you saw right there is Cole Crace overplaying the pass that Swindell was throwing back to the top of the key, nearly got the great steal, and sort of shaking it off there. Tommy McKenzie and his troops have taken some shots. See some of the assistants there talking with him. Shelby Valley will inbound, bring it three-quarter court.
We mentioned Johnson Central's 4-game losing streak.
Played some tough teams.
Yeah, the Golden Eagles have not lost 5 in a row in the last 5 seasons, so trying to avoid making history in a bad way with a win tonight. Good rebound.
Back into the action, Tanner, giving it all he's got.
He's tough, isn't he? Went to the locker room for just a couple of minutes, came back to the bench, and now back in the game. Strong drive and finish. That's Josh Hitchcock. Finally gets on the board. Missed a couple of good looks from three, gets the two to fall there, and it's a 4-point game.
So you bring the pivot to the top of the key, you feed, that gives an open angle, and that time Hitchcock took it home.
Too much one-on-one stuff right now for Shelby Valley. Wildcats got out to that 11-point lead, but since then they seem a little bit out of sync. I don't know if it was a defensive adjustment by this Johnson Central coaching staff as we see the Deskins Motors instant replay, Hitchcock's last basket.
Hitchcock doing a good job. Got the good feed from Rice, the high post feed.
Off the inbound, Hamilton nails a three.
Well, you could see that one coming, couldn't you? Hamilton just found him a spot and got it. These guys from Shelby Valley don't need long to load up, I tell you.
Hitchcock doing it again and drawing the foul this time.
Two big baskets, Tanner, to bring his team back to within 5 after the tough three-pointer. Johnson Central now able to answer Shelby Valley. As you see Hitchcock take it there, draws the contact from Hamilton, puts it home on the Deskins Motors instant replay.
Second foul on Hamilton.
Gets the long kicker, though. Johnson Central still with the basket.
Down by 5. Well, you can't say enough about the fight they have shown. They could have easily let this game get out of hand when they were down by 11, but instead they fight back. This call will go against them, but Jim, you just look at the list of injuries. You look at, I mean, heck, they had another injury in this game just a moment ago with Crace taking a tumble as Coach McKenzie
kind of wondered
giving the refs an earful. Yeah.
J.R. Van Hoos over there on the sidelines. He got a few offensive rebounds in the day, didn't he?
Just a few, yes. Three-pointer up and no good for Richardson. Central had some numbers. Can't finish, though. Fight for the rebound. Inside, it's up and good. Hitchcock, 6 points here in this second quarter, and it's down to a one-possession game.
Johnson Central's gone to this zone, and Shelby Valley's cooled off, Tanner.
Missed by Richardson, 2-on-2. Oh, a little dipsy-do move. Bank shot no good by Blair, and then a foul on the rebound.
Mason Blair with maybe a little bit too much French pastry, as the Coach Al McGuire used to say. But you gotta love the way these teams are battling it, Tanner. Both teams giving it all they got up and down the court, and you see a lot of guys breathing hard.
And look who's checking back into the game for Johnson Central, number 4, Cole Crace. We're told that spill he took a moment ago, he sustained a cut on his back. So good news in the sense that it's nothing muscular or a serious injury. They got him bandaged up, and he's back in there now. 1-and-1 for Richardson. No good. Normally a good foul shooter.
All right, Johnson Central's gone to this zone, and you kind of figured Shelby Valley, the way they were hitting the outside shot, would they destroy it? But no, that hasn't happened, and Coach McKenzie going to this zone's kind of got this team back in it.
Valley still on the man-to-man. Rice throws it away.
Now, Johnson Central had turned the ball over some 5 times in the first quarter, and then their first trip down here in the second quarter, they turned it over. They went nearly 6 minutes there, Tanner, without a turnover, and that's one of the reasons they were able to get back in this.
Silvers in the corner, triple team.
Valley's getting some good looks. They're just not dropping.
Basket.
Excellent shot there.
No good for Wright. Johnson Central has really ratcheted things up on the defensive end. On the offensive end, it's still a scorer by committee.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of things kind of one-on-one, but they're getting better ball movement here.
Bad pass inside, and Valley intercepts it as we're down to 30 seconds to play in our first half. Layup up and good. Swindoll now with 4 points. Long pass, and underneath, they get it to the big man for the basket. Jarrett McCarty, his first field goal. Shelby Valley's lead back down to 3, was 11 at one point as we're under 10 seconds to go in our second quarter. Straightaway three by Fields. Boy, he's cold-blooded. His second three of the game. Johnson Central running out of time. Adkins from three-quarters court is no good. And we've reached the end of our first half with Shelby Valley leading Johnson Central 32-26 here in this clash of 15th region teams. And Anthony Versalia is standing by with head coach Tommy McKenzie of the Johnson Central Golden Eagles. Anthony?
Coach McKenzie, you were down 22-11 at one point, got it to within 3. Talk about what you need to do to keep chipping away at this lead that Shelby Valley has built up.
Well, we got to keep playing smart, continue to maximize each possession, move the ball, cut, make them guard, full court and in the half court. Don't rush things and be a one and done. We got to hit the offensive glass as well, give ourselves more chances.
I noticed in the first quarter you were a little bit onto your team about the defense. Are you more happy with how the defense has played in the second quarter?
Well, I like our effort. Our positioning's not very good. Our rotation's got to be there. We got to do a better job making sure we're where we're supposed to be when the ball's in a certain situation. So we'll get better in the second half.
Coach, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Tanner and Jim.
All right, Anthony, thank you. 32-26, the halftime score. Shelby Valley leads Johnson Central. We'll come back and recap the first half from here at the Paul Setzer Eagle Fieldhouse in our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on this TV and WYMT.com. Shelby Valley will start the second half with a basketball up by 6 points in a lead that I'm sure the Wildcats feel that could have been a lot bigger. They would have played better in that second quarter, extended that 11-point lead.
Kind of wonder if they'll get that man right there, Dalton Richardson, involved as he throws the lob there. Tanner, he had 3 3-pointers in that first quarter and then hasn't really gotten the open shots.
Hamilton a little frustrated there. Pass was a little off the mark, but good defense by Johnson Central. Bringing it up against this Valley press. Oh, there's your press buster right there. Dalton Adkins all the way in. Draws a foul. They put it on Dalton Richardson, number 2 on the senior.
See what kind of play they can run from the inbound here to get an open shot against this man-to-man.
Valley sticking in that man-to-man defense as it did the entire first half.
Trying to get some cuts off the high post. Good ball pressure.
Mason Blair, the 3, no good. And then a whistle on the rebound. They're going to say the ball caromed off one of the top cables above the goal, and it is out of bounds to Shelby Valley.
See what kind of look Shelby Valley can get here.
Win tonight for Shelby Valley would give it the best start for the program since 2009-10. Started 5-0 that year. Wildcats will be 5-0 if they win tonight. Strong move down low. Basket no good, but 2 free throws coming for Hitchcock.
See if Johnson Central can get off the schneid on the foul line. Haven't been real successful there. Got some outstanding shooters, just haven't fallen. 2 shots here for Josh Hitchcock, averages 7 points a contest.
Second,
6 in the first half.
Second foul on Hunter Swindoll.
It's not dropping either, Tam.
0 for 7 are the Golden Eagles now from the foul line. Hitchcock, a 64% foul shooter. Johnson Central, as a team, just 55.7. So,
yeah. Not going to win a lot of games.
Finally, they get a free throw. 7 for Hitchcock. Valley's lead down to 5.
Still wondering when Valley was going to get a shot for 34. Richardson, he loves that right side of the floor seemingly. And
oh, look at the steal by Wright, but he threw it right back to Hamilton. And then Hamilton fouled inside. Corey Hamilton, the senior, averages 13.5 per game, has 7 tonight, and he's at the free throw line now looking to add to Shelby Valley's 5-point lead as they put the foul on Josh Hitchcock, his 3rd. Johnson Central trying to snap a 4-game losing streak and avoid losing 5 straight for the first time in 5 seasons. Both free throws good for Hamilton.
Been the difference in the game so far. Hitting the foul shots and this full court pressure here. Maybe a little bit easier to beat when they have Adkins and Blair both in the game.
Hitchcock fouled. He'll go back to the line where he was 1 of 2 moments ago. We'll take a look at Johnson Central's schedule after this first free throw.
They played a tough one.
They have Lamont Wright, his 3rd foul for Shelby Valley. So Valley's Wright and Johnson Central's Hitchcock, each with 3 fouls, and Hitchcock good on the first one. Let's pop up that schedule. Johnson Central started the season 2-0 with wins over Greenup County and Breathitt County, but then 4 losses in a row at Jackson County, at Perry Central, at Sheldon Clark, and then against Rowan County, one of the favorites, if not the favorite, in the 16th region this year, as Hitchcock hits both free throws, and a substitution for Shelby Valley as Silvers checks in to spell right.
I like the idea for Coach McKenzie. You're not going to get better by playing soft competition. You get better by playing the best. So he lines up a tough early season schedule for his guys and seems to have worked the scheduling deal. They've won 3 in a row here in the 15th. Good move.
Slice and dice move. Fields had it knocked away. Boy, the interior defense for Johnson Central has stepped up big time in this game. Blair, no. Rebound by Fields. Boy, everybody for Shelby Valley is capable of grabbing a rebound and pushing it up the floor, aren't they?
They are. You know, not a lot of second chance points for either team here.
Swindoll, point number 6. It's almost like having 5 guards out there, Jim. Either that or 5 forwards who know how to handle the ball.
Yeah, and you saw that overplay work nearly there, but they get a lot of pressure away from the ball, and guys have a tough time getting the patterns going.
Hitchcock inside. Too strong, offensive rebound, Pack, and he puts it in.
That's where they've got an advantage with Pack and Rice down low with the bodies if they can get some second chance opportunities. I think Coach McKenzie was right on there when he talked about there are some opportunities there if they can hit. Shelby Valley, I think they need to get Richardson involved. He's standing alone over on the right corner.
Elbow jumper, no good for Fields. Fight for the rebound. It's a jump ball, and it will go to Johnson Central.
Swindell averages 23.5 a contest. Richardson averages 11. Johnson Central's kind of bottled those guys up.
It's a Johnson Central team that thought it would have Braxton Blair tonight, but he tested positive for the flu today, and that was a big loss for this Golden Eagles squad as Hitchcock collects his own miss and can't finish, but 2 free throws coming. Talking about Blair, though, Jim, he's one of your favorite players.
Absolutely he is. The young man's outstanding ball player, and, you know, he can do everything. I thought certainly he deferred to Shane Hall earlier in his career, and maybe this would be the year you could see the young man. He's put up 30 a couple of times this year, so and we hope that he gets better.
Leads the team with 29 minutes per game and nearly 5 assists per game. And is on pace to shatter the school assist record. And we'll talk more about that on the other side of this break. 4-point game between Valley and Johnson Central in our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on this TV and WYMT.com. In the home stretch of the 3rd quarter, a 4-point lead for Shelby Valley over those guys, the Johnson Central Eagles, 36-32. And Jim, before the break, we were talking about Braxton Blair, the senior guard for Johnson Central, who's not playing tonight. On pace to become the school's all-time assist leader as a run out and miss for Mason Blair. Can't convert the golden opportunity. And now Valley trying to answer. Boy, they're quick up the court, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And see Richardson there getting it off.
Shot no good by Fields. But the current all-time assist leader at Johnson Central, Terry Branham, 428 assists, set the mark in 1979. He had a young man by the name of David Couch to throw the ball to, though.
Yeah, there you go.
David Couch, of course, was a part of Mike Krzyzewski's first recruiting class at West Point when he was coach at Army.
How about that? An Army man who's also on the board of control with Kentucky High School Athletic Association. Colonel Couch.
Tough move inside. Hitchcock couldn't get the roll. Valley, after having its lead trimmed to 4, now up by 6, and couldn't make it 9 as the 3 in and out for Hamilton. And then at the other end, the other number 1, Dalton Adkins, now with 4 points.
Shelby Valley coach Hicks doesn't like the way things are transpiring here. Looks like maybe an official timeout for Corey Hamilton now. If he's unable to go, that would be a blow for Shelby Valley.
Hamilton a little shaken up. He'll hobble over to the bench and have one of the assistants take a look at him. It appears to be something with his left ankle or left leg, something in that area, as best I can tell from across the way.
Young man had a big first half, had 9 points in that first half, 11 in the game as you see him working on the pain. I think Swindell can get his shot off anytime he wants it if they can feed him in the post.
Oh, how about that steal by Adkins? Up ahead, breakout. Blair with 11 points now. And a timeout taken by Shelby Valley as its lead is down to 2. It's a full timeout.
I tell you, Taylor, the tough defense. And right now, Johnson Central's leaking some guys long. Excellent idea by Coach Tommy McKenzie.
You know, the last time these two teams played was the 15th Region Championship game of last season. We go back to March of 2014, and it was a game that Johnson Central won rather handily, and we have some highlights from that game. Or maybe not. We'll try to get to those in a minute. There we go. This was the 15th Region Championship game, just a complete domination for Johnson Central.
Packed at the Expo, and tough situation there. Tommy McKenzie and his guys going on to number 3.
And that was the 4th win in a row for Johnson Central over Shelby Valley, as you see Coach McKenzie celebrating there. Cutting the nets down. They'd like to do it again this season. But there's another team that would too, Shelby Valley, and they certainly have the talent and depth to accomplish that this season. It's a story.
Getting a little confused on offense, Tanner. They led this thing by 10 at the end of the first quarter, and right there, let's see if we've got there. You see on our Deskins Motors instant replay where Corey Hamilton hit his left ankle there, and I think that's the part of the problem. You see the guys leaking long for Johnson Central. They're sending their guards. They're relying on Pack and Rice to clean the boards. The guards head for the other end. You see Blair there trying to leak out.
Fields lost it on the way up, and then a loose ball tie-up possession arrow. I believe we'll give it over to Johnson Central since Valley started this quarter with the ball.
Got the possession.
Okay, Johnson
hitting.
Central started, so they flip it back over to Shelby Valley. 38-36. Under the 3-minute mark of our third quarter. Fields to trigger it in. 3 out of the corner. Richardson, no good. And Johnson Central can tie with a 2, take the lead with a 3. Inside, we're tied up as Adkins lays it home.
In the old days, we called it the snowbird, Tanner. It's just simply relying on your big guys to get the ball and you take off.
And another steal by Adkins. He'll take it all the way, and Johnson Central has its first lead of the game.
Shelby Valley getting the ball back in the hands there. Michael Fields.
Silvers dishing right inside. No, followed up and in. A big-time play inside that time. By Swindoll, yes.
With his 10th point, Tanner. He only had 4 at the end of the first half. Let's watch here as he pulls the ball off the board. I think Lamont Wright gives this team some energy. He misses down low. Swindell goes up, gets it off the glass, and puts it home. Draws the foul from the big guy.
Nobody blocked out Swindoll. The junior averages 23.5 per game, now has 11 tonight. And that's a big one because it puts Shelby Valley back in front, 41-40.
I wonder if Shelby Valley maybe getting a little tired here early in the season. They call off the full court pressure and do man-to-man half court.
Well, if there was one team in this game with depth concerns, it would be Johnson Central with all the injuries.
No question.
4 starters out as Rice dribbles it off his foot and then Adkins unable to save it. It'll go down as a turnover for Johnson Central.
Gotta love the way Dalton Adkins sacrifices the body there, Tanner, as he hustles and tries to prevent the turnovers. You see Coach Hicks there in front of the Shelby Valley bench.
Jim Hicks was an assistant at Scott County and Campbellsville University, among many other coaching stops. Long two-pointer here by Richardson, no good. Boy, a scrum for the rebound, and they give Johnson Central a timeout.
Oh, didn't realize that was going to come down. Looked like on an alternate possession it would be Johnson Central ball. But they get the timeout and they save the possession. So excellent job there by Cole Crace. Young man only averaging 2.5 a contest, but he makes a bigger contribution than that. And certainly this evening, Tanner, as you mentioned, with so many of the guys being out for Johnson Central, big contribution from Cole.
If Johnson Central goes on to win the 15th region this year, the Golden Eagles would become just the third program to ever accomplish that feat, Jim. Win the 15th region 4 years in a row. Paintsville did it back in the 90s. And of course, Inez back in the 50s. Each of those teams also winning state titles. And what's interesting is that on that Paintsville team, J.R. Van Hoos, who's now an assistant at Johnson Central.
There's always the mountain ties. And, of course, the Inez Indians, the first team from the 15th region to win the state championship, under the legendary Russell Williamson.
Had a lot of good mountain teams in that era. Oh, look at the right hand usage by Adkins, but he didn't get the roll. 2 on 3 here for Valley. Swindoll takes it himself, the teardrop.
Kids trying to take over for Shelby Valley here.
He has 13. Adkins stripped inside and a foul called.
Got the reaction there from Corey Hamilton. And I guess the left ankle's okay because he jumped about 36 inches on the vertical leap there on the call.
Saddled with his third foul. Pack re-enters the game for Johnson Central. Give Rice a breather.
Coach McKenzie going with a little bit of a smaller lineup. He's able to substitute Rice and Pack rather than play both of them at the same time. Getting big contributions from Cole Crace here. Dalton Adkins in this one.
Silvers back in for Shelby Valley. Puts a hand in the face of Blair on that three, which was no good, and then a foul on the putback attempt.
Big McCarty comes in on the weak side, Tanner, and pulls off the offensive glass. When our man Anthony Bisaglia talked with Tommy McKenzie, Coach McKenzie said there's going to be some opportunities for offensive rebounds. We've got to come up with it, and they get Big McCarty an opportunity here.
McCarty with 2 points tonight, now 3. And that was a big foul call, Jim. It was number 4 on Lamont Wright.
Wow, didn't realize that. See the Johnson Central students there getting involved.
McCarty 1 of 2 at the line. Back to a 2-point lead for Shelby Valley. Wildcats have been very inefficient on offense since that first quarter. And a turnover.
Good job by number 5 there, Mason Blair. Knocks it away and he gets the bucket.
13 points now for Blair, and that's twice this quarter he's tied the game. We're all knotted at 43, under a minute to go in our third period. Silvers trying to do something for Shelby Valley, kicks it in the corner. Hamilton misses a 3. Silvers the rebound, and he's fouled. Wave off the basket.
Tell you, Silvers and Hamilton doing the skip pass across the zone and making some moves, creating some space. Only the third team foul here for Johnson Central, so that could be an issue. Johnson Central in the bonus the rest of the way, and Shelby Valley still going to be a while. Johnson Central with 3 more fouls to give as we go inside 40 seconds to play here in this third quarter.
Boy, how good's Johnson Central going to be when they get some of these guys healthy?
That's sort of the scary part if you're a 15th region coach. You're watching the game here on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week.
Valley seemingly trying to play for the final shot of the third quarter here.
Fields hits, he likes to take these long 3-pointers as the clock goes down.
Oh, he's so nifty with the ball and draws the foul.
Not a bad foul to give there for Adkins, though, because all it does is reset the situation.
Substitution number 34, Dalton Richardson.
Only his second personal foul, rather.
Jim Hicks puts Dalton Richardson into the game for these final 9-some seconds, as he's another shooter you like to have in there. Late clock situation. Field strong inside, too strong. Offensive rebound, Swindoll knocked away from him. 3 seconds to go. Desperation heave, Richardson, no. And we've come to the end of the third period. A real Donnybrook here in our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Shelby Valley 43, Johnson Central 43. The conclusion next on this TV and WYMT.com. Tie game as we enter our fourth quarter of play between Johnson Central and Shelby Valley. Wildcats with a steal. This is Swindoll missing the layup. And Johnson Central on the leak out. Blair gives the Golden Eagles the lead.
I tell you what, Tommy McKenzie, the old point guard, he liked to do the little bit of the leak out maneuvers in the day for Johnny Ray Turner. And Coach Turner, of course, bringing that McDowell Daredevil aspect.
And just like that, Valley snatches the lead back on a Fields 3. Give him 9.
3 3-pointers for Fields. Those usually occur at the waning moments of the quarter.
Blair missed a 3 that would have brought the house down.
Yeah.
Valley with the ball back and a 1-point lead. Silvers, oh, how about that nifty move? Couldn't finish, but luckily for him, his teammate Hunter Swindoll can and draw the foul.
Gotta love the way this young man plays the game, Tanner. Averaging 23 points a contest. He doesn't really get his hands on it much in the first quarter. Lets the game come to him. Here you see Silvers miss. Swindoll hustles, gets the basket, draws the foul from Hitchcock, and he'll go looking for the three-point play, missing there. And you wonder if maybe some of the conditioning level of the team's not for this type of game ready to go with that.
Hitchcock a 3, and we're tied at 48.
Oh.
Fifth tie of the game. Hitchcock's first 3. He'd had several good looks, but had not knocked one down until then. And there's a guy who can knock him down, Hamilton, but he misses that one. Offensive rebound, though, by Richardson. And then this is Swindoll from the baseline. Good. 17 for Hunter Swindoll, the junior. Tyler Pack inside, has it knocked away. It'll stay with the Golden Eagles, who are shooting 41% from the field, just 5 of 14 from the free throw line, 35.7%. Valley, 5 of 7 at the foul line. A big discrepancy there.
Good cut.
They're going to get the foul here on Richardson, being a little too physical, trying to defend that inbound pass. And
it's going to be the bonus now for Johnson Central. You know, Tanner, point I was trying to make there was this is somewhat like a tournament level type game, and you wonder if the conditioning level is first of the year, December, you've only played 3 or 4 games. Are you really able to go at it like that? Sometimes one of the indicators that maybe the conditioning not there is free throw shooting that sort of clangs way off, and we saw that happen a couple of times here.
Silvers threw it away.
See him leaking long again.
Shot inside, it rolls home for Mason Blair. 17.
Shelby Valley cannot send 5 guys to the boards, Tanner. They're going to have to keep a couple of guys back.
And an offensive foul as Hamilton charged over the top of Hitchcock.
Oh, the home crowd getting into it here at the Paul Setzer Eagle Fieldhouse.
Third foul on Hamilton. Watch as, oh, I beg your pardon, that was actually Patrick Rice, not Hitchcock. That's the second time that Rice has absorbed a charge in this game.
And once again, I'm not sure if anybody in the ballpark could knock him down like that, but a little bit of the acting job gets the play.
Blair hits that one from Prestonsburg. Look at him, he's fired up.
Oh, what a comeback. And Johnson Central trailing in this one by as many as 11, I believe, was the largest deficit early in that first half. And some big baskets here. A couple of moves by Coach Tommy McKenzie that I really like, Tanner. They were playing man-to-man in this game early, just wasn't working. So let's go zone and see what happens. He went to that. Shelby Valley then unable to hit the jump shots. They had the hands in their face. They were hitting the outside shot in that first quarter. Then maybe you give them a little bit of an opportunity to shoot. They missed the shots. And then the next move that Coach McKenzie makes, and I love this one, he's just doing the old snowbird deal. He's letting his guards take off to the other end. The minute a shot is taken, he's relying on his big guys to get the ball off the board. That's what's happening. And even when the passes go to the post, the Johnson Central guards are leaking long. They're getting some easy buckets. That's what's gotten them back in this.
Johnson Central trailed by as many as 11 points in this game. The Golden Eagles have mounted a furious comeback. They now lead it by 3 over Shelby Valley.
See Patrick Rice there sort of leaning over Tanner. It's just difficult for the football guys to get the wind and the conditioning of the basketball game for at least end of December. So you got to tip your hat to the way that young man has battled in this ball game. Got the heavy wrap on that right knee. Went to the locker room early in the first half, but he's back out here making a difference.
3, Fields, no. Rebound Rice. Shots just are not falling for Shelby Valley in this second half. Didn't fall for Johnson Central that time either. Pack keeps it alive and throws it back out to Blair to reset the offense.
Oh, what about this aggressive man-to-man by Shelby Valley?
I'm like you, Jim. This feels like a postseason game tonight. It's a great atmosphere here at Eagle Fieldhouse.
Johnson Central trying to handle the ball, take a little bit of the fight out of the Wildcats. Coach McKenzie directing traffic.
Hitchcock in trouble. Leak out to Rice. Oh, they have
got
Pack.
the advantage down there.
They had Pack posting up, but they didn't get it to him. And then a steal at midcourt. Hamilton takes it all the way in and lays it home. 1-point game.
His first bucket of the second half. He's got 13, and there wasn't a bigger basket in this game, bigger steal in basket than by Hamilton there.
Blair. Yes! Count it!
Basket is good by Mason Blair.
22 points for Mason Blair.
I don't know if we've got that on the Deskins Motors instant replay, but that was one heck of a shot by Mason Blair. Young man has taken over in this fourth quarter. I've got him with 9 points in the fourth. Look at this. Watch him draw the contact and put it home. Mason Blair.
Couldn't convert the free throw. And Johnson Central's lead stays at 3 for the moment. That free throw would have given the Golden Eagles their first 2-possession lead of the game. Foul inside as Swindoll tried to drive it. And that gets us to a break. 55-52, Johnson Central now with a 3-point lead over Shelby Valley as we enter the home stretch of our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on this TV and WYMT.com. Shot up, no good.
Once again, one shot now for Shelby Valley, and just no offensive glass in this second half for the Wildcats. I always wonder after a timeout what will change. Looks like a double dribble there.
Yep, turnover on Mason Blair. And I'll tell you, Jim, Shelby Valley shot so well from beyond the arc in that first half, plus 50%. Johnson Central made some defensive adjustments about midway through that second quarter, and the Golden Eagles have completely taken away the three-point line from Shelby Valley. And that's been the difference.
That has been the difference here.
Hamilton cuts Johnson Central's lead to 1 with that runner.
Made a couple of big baskets here in this fourth quarter, Tanner, trying to keep his team in it. Not really favoring that left ankle.
Blair, foul on the drive. It'll be free throws either way, though, as each team is now into the bonus.
Fouls number 20, Wright is fifth.
And Lamont Wright has fouled out of the game for Shelby Valley.
Shelby Valley will use the full minute here to make the substitution. Lamont's a heck of a ball player, giving the team a lot of energy defensively. He was a key offensive rebounder in that first half. And couldn't quite get untracked here in this second half.
He averages 15 a game, but tonight Johnson Central holds him to just 2 points, Jim.
Yeah. And now the foul shooting that Johnson Central wasn't so good at becomes critical. Talked about as a team, they shoot only a little over 50%.
Blair right on 50% on the season. And our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week this Friday. It's a twofer this week. This one tonight, and then Friday we'll be at Buckhorn as the Wildcats host the Hazard Bulldogs in a 54th District matchup. Blair 1 for 2 from the line. Give him 23 and give Johnson Central a 2-point lead, 56-54.
See who Coach Hicks tries to go to here. Saw the good help defense there by Johnson Central. Swindell didn't have it, and pass knocked out of bounds by Johnson Central. Shelby Valley will inbounds from their own end zone. You kind of wonder what kind of play they could run here to get a good shot off this man-to-man, or its own rather.
2 to tie, 3 to take the lead with 3 minutes and some change left in this big 15th region clash. That's a long 2 for Fields. Couldn't tie the game. How about Rice? Another rebound. Boy, he's been big in every sense of the word for Johnson Central tonight.
Well, Shelby Valley's having to send a couple of guys right immediately down to the defensive end the minute a shot is taken, Tanner. Coach Tommy McKenzie's maneuver to snowbird his guards has caused some problems for Shelby Valley here in this second half.
Jim Hicks wanted that call, didn't get it.
As a consequence, they really don't have a lot of guys hitting the offensive glass. There's not a whole lot there. Johnson Central doesn't have their main ball handler, Braxton Blair. Sometimes that's a problem late in games.
Mason Blair missing there. Silvers for the lead. No. Rebound Adkins.
See, once again, though, Shelby Valley, the guys are conscious, Tanner. They can't really crash the glass that hard because Johnson Central's killed them on the leakouts. If they don't have their primary ball handler, Braxton Blair, that's a problem.
Mason Blair commits the offensive foul there. Just his second. And Shelby Valley gets the ball back, down 2.
I'm sure these guys are talking with themselves. A lot of times Braxton over the last 3 or 4 years, you know, when you've been in trouble, you've gone to him to settle things down. He's not there. And see number 10 there, Michael Fields, sort of limping a little bit as he comes up. Maybe a little bit of a Charlie horse.
Big possession here.
Richardson's open.
There it is. No good. An air ball off the hands of Richardson. Fight for the rebound. Won by Johnson Central. Hitchcock came down with it. And we have a timeout as Corey Hamilton a little shaken up at midcourt. Remember, he had to leave the game earlier with some left ankle injuries. This looks like it's his right knee, right calf area.
I actually think that's a Charlie horse. That's what I'm thinking, just the way he's reacting here. And Tanner, it is warm in the gymnasium. We're glad that it is.
That's
Last
right.
time we were in Shelby Valley, it was a little cool, but still believe conditioning a big aspect of basketball and difficult to get into condition to play a game like this with such intensity on both ends of the court. And I think what we're just seeing is a couple of guys. I also thought number 10, Michael Fields, was hobbling a little bit, so I kind of thought that might be him sort of going off, but they maybe try to massage the leg a little bit and see if they can't get Corey Hamilton back into this one.
Oh, that's a big loss if they can't have him in these final 2 minutes. Hamilton with 15 tonight.
Just got to tip your hat to how hard these teams have fought them this evening.
Hamilton also a good free throw shooter, 77%.
Fields is hobbling.
Down low, basket up, no good. The runner by Blair rimmed out, but a big offensive rebound, and the Golden Eagles call timeout. No doubt Coach Tommy McKenzie is going to go over the strategy here with his team as they'll try to maybe play a little keep away and run some clock.
Tough decision there by Coach McKenzie. I like the idea. However, I believe that a couple of the guys for Shelby Valley were about ready to go down with some Charlie horses. So Coach McKenzie, as you see our man Anthony Bersalia, he's right in there in the huddle with them, going through the instructions, writing some notes down. Coach McKenzie, fine ball player here for Johnson Central, and sort of teasing him. You know, when we have the Mountain Classic here in a couple of weeks, we run some of our Mountain Classic flashbacks, and somehow his flashback of taking it inline to inline for the big basket in the Mountain Classic winner always shown. You know, now Coach Jim Hicks for Shelby Valley, he's sort of faced with what Coach McKenzie's been faced with, having to go down deep into your bench, look for a guy to make a contribution.
Johnson Central trying to avoid a 5-game losing streak for the first time in 5 seasons. 4 straight losses entering tonight. Shelby Valley is 4-0, trying to start 5-0 for the first time since 2009 and snap a 4-game losing streak to these Golden Eagles.
They'll inbound from in front of us here, Tanner.
Valley, man-to-man still.
Johnson Central trying to spread things out here. Difficult to keep the ball away from a team for like a minute or so.
Of course, there's some debate on whether there should be a shot clock in high school. Situations like this lend to that argument. Look at the dish, big man to big man. Rice sets up Pack. A big basket to make it a 2-possession game.
Beautiful, perfect design play there. Rice and Pack and the guards get it done. Still plenty of time for Shelby Valley here.
Wildcats desperately need a basket. Long 3, Fields, no. Rebound, Blair for Johnson Central. Under a minute to go, Golden Eagles with the ball and a 4-point lead.
Now Tanner, they're going to pull it out. It would be a double bonus.
Blair to the basket, no good. He'll have 2 free throws though. Mason Blair.
Yeah, just great job, Tanner. You know, you space the deal out like that, Tanner, and you have that driving lane with the high post, and Blair takes it to the basket.
Take a look at our Deskins Motors instant replay. This was the bounce pass from Rice to Pack. Free throw no good by Blair. Johnson Central, if it wins this game, will have overcome some serious woes from the free throw line.
Yeah, I'm going to believe Coach Mack is going to have his guys work on the foul shots.
Blair with 24.
Still
now
plenty of time here now.
That's a 2 inside, no good by Fields. Johnson Central has absolutely owned the glass here in the second half. Coach Hicks telling his Wildcats to foul, and they will foul Blair. It's going on Fields.
Tanner, Shelby Valley had 18 points in that first quarter. They had 4 3-pointers. Since that first quarter, I have them with only 3 more.
Coach
3
Hicks
points.
upset at his guys. Some adjustments to make. Shelby Valley, though, will be fine, I think, in the course of the season. A lot of talent on this Wildcats squad. They'll get the ship righted.
First loss on the year, so certainly want to see Corey Hamilton back there in the action get going. It had some left and right leg issues. Still plenty of time here, though. They need a 3, though.
Richardson double teamed in the corner, weaves his way out, throws it back out to Fields, clanks. Out of bounds, stays with Shelby Valley with 12 seconds left. Wildcats down 6. Shelby Valley is going to drop its 5th game in a row to Johnson Central.
Still have to play the 3-point basket. If you could hit a quick 3 here, the way Johnson Central shoots free throws, you're not dead.
Silvers, no. Pack the rebound, that's gonna do it. Yeah, it's hard to clip these Golden Eagles. Johnson Central defeats Shelby Valley 60-54. The Golden Eagles, without 4 starters in the lineup, pull through for a win tonight. here at the Paul Setzer Eagle Fieldhouse with Jim Frazier and Anthony Versaglia. I'm Tanner Hesterberg. We'll be back to hear from winning head coach Tommy McKenzie after this. 60-54, Johnson Central, a home court win over Shelby Valley. Anthony standing by with Johnson
Coach
Central.
Tommy McKenzie, a 60-54 win over Shelby Valley tonight. Talk about this win and this comeback.
Well, I thought the guys did an exceptional job of staying in the game mentally after we got down a lot early. I think we got down 22-11, then we were down 6 at halftime. But I thought in the third and fourth quarter we started playing the way we wanted to play, got out in transition, got some easy buckets, got ourselves going, and then when we're seeing the ball go through the basket, obviously defensively we were much better in the second half.
What about layups? I noticed a lot of missed layups for both teams tonight, but how do you work on that to get better at that this season?
I think it's just repetitions and putting your guys in adverse situations in practice. A lot of it was through contact, and we tell our guys every day on a daily basis, that you got to play through contact. We didn't do a very good job of playing through bumps tonight.
Well, Coach, we hope your team gets healthy, and congratulations on the win tonight.
I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you.
Tanner and Jim.
All right, thanks, Anthony. He coached a heck of a game tonight, Tommy McKenzie did.
I tell you what, Tanner, he made the adjustments when the team wasn't getting it done. He didn't have all the bullets in the gun. Okay, there weren't that many guys over there ready to go for Johnson Central. They come up with a big win here, of course, against their 15th region rival, Shelby Valley, and both of these teams with good things ahead.
We'll take our final break and come back with a little 15th region trivia to wrap this one up, and also have a look at your final stat sheet as Johnson Central defeats Shelby Valley 60-54.
Remember when cell phones and the internet didn't exist? Times have changed. I'm Darlene Johnson.
I'm Keisha Rice, attorneys at the Accident and Bankruptcy Law Center. Change can be good.
Accident victims recover 3 times more for their injuries with an attorney, but legal fees take a chunk out of the dollars they receive.
When we win your case, here's how we're different. We discount traditional legal fees, and there's no charge for phone calls, letters, or medical records, and you meet face-to-face with your attorney.
If you've been hurt in an accident, call us today. Great legal representation, more dollars in your pocket.
Appalachian Wireless began offering 1 free gig of data to anyone that signs up for their amazing mix and match rates. The offer was so popular that they're extending it through the end of the year. Check out all of our amazing phone specials in store, where you'll find many popular models for only a penny. Ending this year with a bang, with tons of ways to save. Don't miss out on 1 free gig of data. Hurry in to Appalachian Wireless and get yours.
Yes. 60-54 the final score as Johnson Central defeats Shelby Valley. The Golden Eagles trailed by as many as 11 in that first half. Jim, how were they able to come back and make those defensive adjustments? They just really stymied Shelby Valley on the defensive end after that first quarter.
I was just looking here. They out-rebound Shelby Valley 52-34, so limiting Shelby Valley to basically 1 shot and out. And then I thought Coach McKenzie, basically realizing that they had the advantage with the rebounding, he sent his guards to the other end the minute a shot was taken. It's an old-time trick. It's been used many, many times. And Shelby Valley just simply didn't have an answer for it in the middle part of that third quarter. By the time they adjusted, it was a little bit too late.
A lot has to be said about the resilience, too, of this Golden Eagles squad. Down 4 starters tonight. A couple players lost for the year with some injuries, but then they found out at the last minute that Dalton Adkins was diagnosed with the flu today, and he was not going to be able to play tonight. So in spite of all of that, Johnson Central still able to scrap out a win against a very good Shelby Valley team.
There's no question about it. Shelby Valley came into this thing undefeated, untied, and they just simply couldn't get the outside shots to drop. But with the first part of this game, they were hitting the shots, and I think Coach Hicks is going to work on his guys a little bit more to get that extra pass and get the open shot, and certainly work on that offensive glass.
Okay, and as the fans make their way to the exits here, we are going to do a little trivia. We didn't get to this question during the game, and this trivia question is right up your alley, Jim. The 15th region has produced more Mr. Basketballs, they produced 6,
Say what?
than any other region in the state. Can you name them all?
No, there's no living way. I can name the very first one.
Okay.
Kelly Coleman, of course,
That's
from
one.
Wayland. We have perhaps J.R. Van Hoos. We saw him here at the
That's
ball game.
2.
I can remember that one from Paintsville. and
Stay with
Elisha
Paintsville.
Branham from Justice from Shelby Valley. So let's see. Once I've got those, I've still got 3 more to go.
You should stick with Paintsville. There's a hint for you.
I should stick with Paintsville.
You already got Van Hoos.
I've already got Van Hoos, so it had to be John Pelfrey.
That's 4.
That's 4.
2 more to go.
2 more to go.
Think Pike County.
Think Pike County. Oh, my man, Irvin Stepp.
Irvin Stepp
Irvin
from
Stepp has
Phelps.
to be one. Can't believe I forgot that one. Okay, I sort of forgot it. You gave me a hint.
One
What
more.
have I got, 5 out of 6?
You got 5 out of 6. You like 1.
Can I name them all? I need another hint. Can I buy a vowel? Or
I
can
will give you
get
another
a
hint.
lifeline?
You should think in the direction of Shelby Valley, a team that was playing tonight. Not necessarily Shelby Valley, but maybe a school that
how could I
consolidated to
forget?
make Shelby
How
Valley.
could I forget my man Todd May? The
Todd
last time
May.
I talked with Bobby Keith, he talked about the greatest pivot man he'd seen in the mountains. Of course, J.R. Van Hoos and some of those guys mentioned, but Todd May, the number 1.
Of course, Virgie consolidated with Dorton back in the early 90s to form Shelby Valley High School. The Wildcats tonight fall at Johnson Central by 6 points, 60-54. I want to thank all our production team, both here at Paul R. Setzer Eagle Fieldhouse in Paintsville, and everyone back at WYMT Master Control. For sideline reporter Anthony Bursalia and color analyst Jim Frazier, I'm Tanner Husterberg. It's been our honor to have you along for tonight's broadcast in our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Now, don't forget, we have a twofer this week in our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Friday will be in Buckhorn, the Wildcats hosting Hazard in a 54th District rivalry pre-Christmas showdown. Can't wait to get to that one and call that one with you, my friend. But until then, this is Tanner Husterberg saying so long, everybody.